Welcome to Show Em The Dore, still Jalen Mahoney's favorite podcast. Do you remember that? He still hasn't hit us back. But do you know who has hit us back? Our special guest. My name is Willem Azanero. Our other host is Christopher Conway.
Hey,
and I will let our guest introduce himself.
What's up, guys? I'm Julian Hernandez. I'm Vanderbilt's starting center. Played in 10 games this past season. Looking forward to whatever this season has to hold for the Vanderbilt Commodores.
I know that we're super excited to have Julian on, as we are to have any of our guests on, and we will definitely be be reaching out to more people in future episodes because we want to become more of a guest-driven podcast. But today we're focusing on the wonderful life story of Julian Hernandez.
The one and only.
Yeah, the one, the man, the myth, the legend, Julian Hernandez. So we just want to start off with early life. So when did you start playing football, and what were your motivations behind playing football?
So, funny enough, I never played any Pee Wee football or any of
Really?
that. I actually started playing football my freshman year of high school.
Oh, wow.
That's when you started?
Yeah, that's when I started.
So did you play other sports before?
I played baseball before.
There you go.
But I didn't even play travel baseball. I played recreational baseball.
Okay.
Were you good?
I mean, it was alright. I wasn't I was bad. I don't know. I played baseball for a while, and I didn't really see a progression for that. I had wanted to try for my high school baseball team, but I had already known that the competition for that was already so far ahead of what I would know as a recreational baseball player. I knew there were going to be dudes that I had already played travel ball,
Yeah.
maybe an AAU. I don't know if baseball does AAU, but
They have circuits, but
Yeah.
at some point.
so I was just well, I mean, I don't know how much success I'm going to see with baseball, so I kind of just was yeah, I mean, I'm a big dude and might as well try football, I guess.
So how big were you going into freshman year?
I was probably I wasn't I was tall for a freshman, I guess. I was 5'10", 5'11". I think maybe 6 foot, just maybe, but I was 250 pounds.
Okay.
So I had already some decent size
Yeah.
on me. I could get away with it in high school or JV
Right.
and stuff.
Yeah.
My freshman year JV, I was awful.
Oh, jeez.
Absolutely horrible. So I don't know I went to Western High School in Davie, Florida. I don't know if anybody watching would know where that is, but it's about 15 minutes west of Fort Lauderdale. And just for a little preface, I think our varsity team that year I got there went it wasn't a very good school record. We were known as kind of the laughing stock of the 8A district. So and yeah, I guess my high school coach, who was the head coach of the varsity team, he was just yeah, I guess we see some potential in you. In sophomore year, I kind of was just rolling with varsity and stuff. I think I started my first game I started, I had bruised my femur, my tibia really bad.
Oh, jeez.
So I was kind of out watching, I would get into certain packages and stuff.
Yeah.
But then it was really my junior year where I kind of took off, kind of gained a little bit of a name for myself. I'm not the most famous recruit by any means, but I kind of started garnering a little bit of attention from other high schools because I had made first team all county, and
Okay.
my team had made it to the third round of the playoffs. So that was the best
Yeah, that's
record
a
we
big
had in
deal.
school. Yeah, we had the best high school record in school history, and so
Oh, wow.
all eyes were on us because it was oh my god, from I think we went 0-10 the year before I got there, or 0-8 to the third round of the playoffs is pretty remarkable. Then my junior year I was kind of a slack off, I was the I
You were
was the
feeling
dude.
good. You were
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Grades were slipping. My mind just wasn't in the right place. And then I kind of figured maybe I needed to start new. My mom really helped me through that process because I knew I was probably going to transfer high schools, but I didn't want to just because I loved Western so much.
Yeah.
So my mom kind of bit the bullet and sort of not forced me, but pushed the process a little bit faster than I had expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go to St. Thomas Aquinas, which is a much more well-known high school football program.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you guys say you haven't played sports, but you guys know what that is.
No,
So,
yeah, no, 100%.
it's definitely a lot more strict, a lot more kind of not a boot camp because it's still high school, but damn near close enough to what you could expect from a college football program in high school.
Yeah.
So I go there. I do spring ball there. I do pretty well in spring ball. I have a good spring game. I go into my senior year starting a bunch. St. Thomas was kind of like how college was, where like every week you had to fight for a spot because like there was a lot of good talent at St. Thomas. Like there was like dudes everywhere, and so like I kind of got like a little bit complacent in my high school days, and so like I started about 7 games when I realistically could have started every game. I kind of fell into like a little bit of a slump, like baseball terms, kind of like you're out of rhythm with like what you know to be like how you are. I had already committed to Vanderbilt in like August of my senior year, so I committed to Vanderbilt before the season started, and like and so coming in like end of my senior year, like I realized like I didn't really take advantage as much as I could have of my senior year of high school, like getting better and stuff. So like already coming into Vanderbilt, I was just like, do I really like belong here? Like, is this like my place? Because like if I could, like I was thinking like if I couldn't start every single game on my high school team, like what makes me think I'm gonna like cut it in the SEC?
Right.
So that was really sort of like my high school career, and like getting here, I don't know. I mean, it's just.
Was the recruiting process like easy for you, or like?
Oh, I probably should have touched on that more. So I had 11 offers coming out of high school. I had Louisville, Syracuse, some of the bigger ones. I had Pitt, Vanderbilt was one of them. Vanderbilt was like my last offer I got, but I committed to Vanderbilt about a month after I got the offer. Like, I didn't even take a visit. Like I already know that I was gonna like come.
Was that
here.
because of SEC play, or is that just because you knew what Vanderbilt was?
Excuse me. So I'm not gonna lie, I didn't take a visit to Vanderbilt before I committed. I had already known like about it, and I knew it was in the SEC. I knew it was like gonna be the best of the best competition. But like, I had always like valued education as like a top priority for me. So like, Vanderbilt being a top 15 school, I had already thought like, wow, like what an opportunity to like go to a school and like actually get an education, because like at the end of the day, like the NFL's never guaranteed. Like who knows, like God forbid, like one day I go out and I like get injured and I never play again. Like I'm gonna need something to like rely on to get me through life, rather than just like, oh, like I could have been an NFL player. So I thought Vanderbilt was pretty much like an easy option. I never liked country music that much, so like Nashville country music, I don't know. I mean, but I really like I had really liked the idea of Vanderbilt just like testing me like physically and also mentally as well.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Derek Mason, that was back when he was the coach. He was big in your recruiting process, I assume?
Yeah, he came to my house and had dinner with my family.
Really?
Yeah, it was him and my offensive line coach at the time, Cameron Norcross. They had both came to my house, and my mom like catered some Cuban restaurant down like locally, like 25 minutes away. It was a really good time. We had some good conversation.
Okay, I was like, I feel like maybe it's just from the fact that I was never recruited or never went through any of that process, obviously. But like, I feel like that'd be awkward. It's just like sitting there with like the head coach of a football team that's in your house, you know?
There's a little bit awkward, like not awkward. Don't get me wrong. Like I think Derek Mason like values family a lot. So like he's a very prioritized family man, which I can really respect. So him and my mom just having conversation, I was like more nervous about my offensive line coach being there than Coach Mason. Like Coach Mason was like a very homey, like family guy. So like I don't know, I just kind of clicked with him. So
was that like another stepping stone in coming to Vanderbilt eventually, or was that just a formality?
I think it was just a formality. Like, I mean, I liked Derek. Like I like Coach Mason. I felt weird calling him Derek. I really like Coach Mason a lot. So like he had already had my respect and my sort of like I was locked in with him. I was like I'm willing to like battle for this guy and stuff. So he was more of just like a plus that going to Vanderbilt. Like I knew he would be my coach and stuff. And also like there are a lot of coaches that are like kind of like shady, kind of like just. They'll like act like they care about you just to go to the school, but then like once you get there, it's kind of like, all right, well, you're at the bottom of the totem pole. Like I don't got to worry about you anymore. But like, I talked a lot with Coach Mason and stuff, so I really enjoyed like when he was here. It was a little bit hard to see him go at the time, but I mean, I think it was what was like somewhat necessary for this program to move forward.
No, I understand. But before we get to like the whole switch of the coaching changes thing, I guess so. You got here as a freshman, and I don't. But you didn't play in a whole many games.
I played in one game against East Tennessee State my freshman year.
Okay. And so how was like spring ball and camp and working your way up the totem pole? I guess still, Vandy.
It honestly means a lot. I mean, like it's a lot of like mental fortitude that you need to do that process. Like every athlete will agree, like fall camp is probably like the worst 2.5 weeks of like your year or like your life.
Yeah.
Like not that it's like you hate football or like you hate any of this or hate that. It's just like such a time constraint on like what you can do with your day. Like I remember this past year fall camp, like I would wake up at like 6 or like 7 in the morning and like be at the facility the entire day and like not get back because we would stay in the Holiday Inn. We wouldn't even like stay in like dorms and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. So I would wake up and like it was nice staying in the Holiday Inn, staying with like a different roommate than like what you're known to like who you're known to be with. But like the only time I would ever come back to the Holiday Inn is to go to bed.
Yeah. Jeez.
So it was just like being out the entire day, hot as hell outside, practicing, film, lifting, like anything you can imagine an athlete could do in like one full day just revolved around that sport. Like that's what we did. Because like there's no class either. Like we do fall camp like in the time of the summer like semester where like it's like that 2 weeks before school starts where like you don't have anything. Once school starts, you're kind of just like in the clear from fall camp.
Yeah. It's just all football.
Literally. And like I think you only get like realistically Sunday off. Like because Saturday you kind of go in so like watch film, but Monday through Friday like you're in there and there's like if you're like missing to anything like it's bad.
I've heard like kind of bad things about film meetings. Like it's just like they really just tear you apart. Is that like not from like any Vandy student, just like in general?
No, like
like
you ever see that dude on TikTok that's like
coach like the
at
coach
the moment,
30 or
just
whatever.
down your leg or whatever.
Oh my gosh, those are so funny.
No, they're awesome. They're hilarious. I mean,
Is that how it is? Like for real?
I'm gonna be honest. Like growing like to be like gonna be a senior, so like I've been in a bunch of film meetings. It's like it gets easier. Like I'm not like I look forward to going to watch film because like honestly at this point in my like development like I need to watch more film to like kind of get like freshmen you kind of just need to get the playbook. Like you're gonna be out there watching film, but like you're gonna be watching more just like the plays and the scheme and like which like when I was a freshman I was more worried about which direction I was going and like how I looked. So like getting to this point it's not about which direction anymore. It's about like leverage on like combo blocks or like how your technique is against a certain type of pass rusher. And so like I think film is honestly such like not an underappreciated because I think a lot of people can appreciate good film, but it's definitely a necessary like part of your development once you get to like a stage of like knowing what you're doing, just like how to refine and improve upon it.
Definitely. Yeah. So then I think in your sophomore year you said you played 5 games and you started 4 of them, I believe. What was like I think it said all of them were SEC games as well.
Yeah, because COVID year we only had SEC games. It was all SEC schedule,
I forgot about
which was kind of crazy.
Did you have like a welcome to the SEC moment or something like that where you just got like busted real bad and it was like I really gotta come back after this? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't know if I ever had like a blatant play where I just got like decleated or whatever. Like as a lineman, like I get hit like every single play. Like I think offensive line's like the only position where you have to like be touching a different dude every single play.
Right, every single
like
play.
You don't really get to get away with a play where like you don't do anything as an offensive lineman. So, I mean, I think Mississippi State, like that was like the first game I started, and I guess that was kind of like, I think his number was like number 40. I'm pretty sure he got drafted somewhere. I don't know where.
Was that Willie Gay to the Chiefs?
Number 40 in the SEC? Or in Mississippi State?
Yeah, I think it is. He's a linebacker or D linebacker?
He's a linebacker. He's pretty.
Yeah, that's Willie Gay, I think.
He's a thick dude.
Yeah,
like,
he's a big dude. He plays for the Chiefs now.
He's like 5'10", 5'11", but he was like 250, like thick dude. Kind of like
he was a
dense.
2nd round pick, I think.
Yeah, he like just shocked me one play. Like I didn't get decleated or like I don't think I've had like an embarrassing moment like just literally just got put on my back.
Yeah.
But like I remember there was one play where like he drove me back a bunch. Like it was like kind of a pass play and I picked him up on a blitz and like we got the ball off, but like damn,
it was just like
man. He hit me like hard as hell. And like that was the first game I had ever started against Mississippi State.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a eye opener. Like I don't think I've ever been more sore than like after starting my first game against Mississippi State.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
And like Mississippi State's a team where like they're good. Like this past year, they actually found a lot of success. I don't know if the year prior they found. I think I'm not sure how they did the year prior, but like they got a lot of talent over there. So
yeah, I mean,
I had kind of gone into sophomore like I didn't know my schedule. Like, I didn't know, like, how to watch film, like, why I watched film. So I was kind of just, like, checking boxes, like, all right, I did this, 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 and this. But, like, you didn't really do it intentionally. You did it to, like, the maximum, like, efficiency
what you needed to do, probably.
So, I mean, I was just kind of, like, a happy-go-lucky kid, like, just starting in the SEC. Like, honestly, I mean, shoot, like, I went watching minimal film. I started against Mississippi State, Florida, Kentucky, Missouri. I got injured during Missouri this past year in 2020, and then I forgot which other game it was.
Was it South Carolina?
Yeah, I think no. I played in South Carolina. I started 4, played in 5.
Okay, that's the minimal research I did.
There we go.
No, it's fine. It's all
We
good.
know what we're doing.
It's all good.
No, but so I guess you had to have had like a kind of mental like, okay, I need to start working probably a little harder going into your this last season.
Yeah.
And so like what process did that like go through to a point where you were starting every game and having pretty like success throughout your junior season?
Yeah. So like during like my transition from like my sophomore to my junior year, I really kind of like, I really kind of prioritized like changing my body a little bit, because like during my sophomore season I was pretty hefty. Like I was sitting around like 320-ish, and like at the time, like for me that was a lot bigger. Like I'm around like 312, 315 now, and like I look a lot better than I did the year before. But yeah, like when I got back in like December and like going into spring season, like I had just like taken more like into account like my nutrition. Like spring season, like you still need to watch film, but it's like you're going against the same team every day. It's not like you're just going against your defense. So like it was more like kind of player based, like okay, or like you're just watching yourself more often. Like in the season you watch more like film of like the opponent rather than, I would say you still watch a bit of yourself, but you're watching more of like what they do. Yeah. So in the spring season I kind of just like watched film just to make sure like I was getting the plays right, because we had like after the season we had the staff clearance, so it was like, okay, this is all brand new, bullets are flying, you got to learn everything in 15 practices pretty much. So like it was a bit tough. Like I wasn't even starting in the springtime.
Really?
It's funny enough, our other center, Kivo Wesley, he was the starting center for spring ball. And so, like, kind of going into, like, that mental, like, aspect of, like, okay, I started 4 games here, like, and he hadn't started any, like, why is he the starting center? Like, I kind of got, like, a little bit, like, reserved in my own mind. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know, like, I kind of just, like, I'm very big on just, like, keeping your nose on the grindstone. I don't know if you've ever heard that saying before. Yeah. It's kind of like, just keep your head down, work hard, and good things will come your way. And so I did just that. Like I just kept my mind right, took advantage of as many like all the reps that I got, just like tried to make sure that like my coach saw that like I was like putting in the effort to like get that starting job, because that was my goal. That's like what I wanted.
Right.
Yeah. And so go past spring ball, I had a good spring game. I was running a lot of reps with the ones in the spring game. It was good. And then moving past spring ball, going into May, because in May we got like a month off, so like you go back home, and like it's a time where like a lot of people kind of just like unwind, relax. But like our coach has already told us, like, look, like just make sure like you stay in shape, just do good, like don't get into any trouble, just like make sure like you're on your stuff, because when you come back, like it's summertime, like that's when like we're conditioning almost every day. Yep. You're lifting, so like if you're like out of shape, like we're gonna know, and we're gonna be able to tell.
It's gonna be very
obvious. That's when it's real.
Yeah. And so during the month of May, I kind of went through like a little bit of a body transformation. I had lost like 15 pounds. Like I went from like 315 to 20 pounds, 315 to 295. I was like looking good. I was feeling great. I was like this is like my moment. Like I'm on my shit right now. I don't know if I can say that or not. I'm good.
Yeah, you're all good.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm on my shit right now. And so after that, it was really just like going through summertime, and my competition was Kivo Wesley and Michael Warden, who were the other centers. And we were just like not at each other's necks or anything, but like we were just making sure like we were all like in it together. Just like if one of us was leading, like we would have to catch up, and like it was great. Yeah, it was a good, like it was healthy competition, pushing each other to the max. So come fall camp time, the time everybody loves, I was actually running with the threes. So, like, my kind of, like, I'm on the top, like, my shape, like, I'm good, like, I'm doing great. Like, it was kind of just like, damn, like
it's
all,
not getting noticed.
like, all this work I'm putting in, and I'm still, like, running with the threes. And so, I don't remember, like, exactly what had happened during I think during fall camp, like, I was still just, like, with the threes, kind of just rolling. Like, my coaches put me at different positions, kind of just, like, if anything were to happen, just give me opportunity to get on the field. And so my first 2 games of the season, I played left guard against ETSU and left guard against Colorado State. But then our center, Michael Warden, kind of went down with a high ankle sprain. So it was my coach's decision. He was like, okay, Julian, just hop in at center. Because during fall camp, I had gotten, like, a lot of reps, or during, like, the past 2 weeks, like, I'm not sure what happened with Kivo, but I had gotten a lot of reps at center. And so he was just like, all right, you go in and you just finish the game. Because at that point, when he went down, we were already, like, 2-minute drive going down, like, we're going to kick the game-winning field goal.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm, like, shitting my pants, and I'm just like, Julian, whatever you do, just don't mess a snap up.
Yeah.
Like, all we have to do, like, we're already in field goal range. I was like, just get us through a couple snaps, and we will win this game. And so...
Because you guys had come back against Colorado State.
Yeah, we were down a little bit early in the start, but we had fostered up a good comeback. We took the lead eventually. They scored and tied it, but we had enough time on the clock to take a drive down and kick the game-winning field goal, which we did.
Yeah.
But my mindset was, I didn't even care what play we ran. Like, I had, like, known, like, I went back to my freshman days. I was like, all right, left, focus on the snap. That's all I would think about.
There it is.
Like, I wasn't even worried about who I had to go to on my combo. I was just like, just get the snap first, and you'll be good. And that was what happened. We ended up winning that game. It was awesome, great feeling, because we hadn't won a game since 2019.
Yeah.
So at that point, so it just felt like amazing. And like after that, I was like, okay, I don't know what coach is thinking right now. Like, am I still going to be like the starting center? Or is Kivo going to get a shot? And so after that, he had put me as the starting center. So I had kind of jumped from like 3 to 1. I felt a little bit bad for Kivo, but I think it was just because he was just a little bit underweight. That like he couldn't really play. I think he was like 285, and coach had wanted like a little bit more weight on the guy. So,
especially as you get to SEC play.
Kivo's playing D-line now.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a shocker, but yeah, he's playing. He's on D-line, and so I mean, shit, I don't even know if I should have said that, but I mean, I don't think it matters too much.
I mean,
we don't know where he is. I don't know what you're talking.
Also, like the spring games coming up, like they'll see.
Yeah, they'll see. Yeah, we're good.
Sneak peek on Show 'em the Door.
Yeah, right.
You heard it here first.
Little snippet.
Yeah. Sneak peek.
Yeah.
First line media.
So, yeah, and so going into Stanford, that was my first like start in the 2021 season. I actually had a really kick-ass game that game. Like I did good.
Offense was rolling that game.
Yeah, we were putting up some good numbers. I'm pretty like I can't really remember like I don't remember final scores. I more just remember moments in games. Like as an offensive lineman, like we don't have stats. Like we're like the only position group that like we're just measured off of other people's success.
Right.
So.
They probably don't do like win rate in college, do they?
I mean, not for O-line, I don't think. It's more just record.
Yeah, really. I know that in the NFL they do like pass block and run block win rates.
Yeah,
but, like,
I think PFF does like grades for like certain offensive linemen. Like they'll do like top 5 centers in college football, but like I don't really know what they base that on.
You're on that list next year for sure. Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm contacting PFF right now.
Hopefully. And so, going into Stanford, I was feeling good. I had a great game. I forget which game came after that, but I ended up starting 10 games in the season. And that was just like, I kind of, not like a breakout year or anything, but like kind of just like a good, I think overall, like my coach told me, he was like, look, like you're probably one of the more consistent players on the O-line. It's nice to have you there at center. And so I think for me, center is just more of like a get everybody together position.
Yeah.
Like, with my personality, I've kind of just like been the kind of dude to always like have people like I like everyone. Like I don't know if this sounds kind of like a-hole-ish, but like I feel like personally, like if a person has like a problem with me, then like there must be something wrong with them because like I've never had problems with anybody.
No, and also like I mean, I've always heard that center is it requires the most communication on the offensive line. I know that in our class we've had together, like, communication is obviously not an issue for you.
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like that is a distinct strength that you have probably in the offensive line.
So usually we just like we go out there, make a front call. So like whatever front the defensive line's in, I call that out, and like that determines that dictates like who we're comboing with, and like which linebackers we're going to. So like in say like a 3 down front, like a nose guard like right over me, and like 2 D linemen over the tackles will like. It's very intricate, but like once you get used to it and you're sort of like kind of flowing with it, like at first you're kind of there and you're like, oh geez, this front, okay, and then they're like, that linebacker. It gets to the point where like you break the huddle, and before you even like get to the ball and get set, you're like, okay, this front and that linebacker. Like it just like becomes like second nature. So like center definitely comes time with like consistency and like being in that position. But it also comes with a lot of understanding in the playbook. They've made it a little bit easier on the centers and having like the quarterbacks do a little bit more of the work, but I feel like it's kind of like universal. Like it's either like, because the center can't see everything. Like we can see like the box, like the D linemen and the linebackers, but like the quarterback can see the safeties, the corners, like how they're rotated over, and like if the corner's pressed up and there's a safety over them, that's like, okay, there could be like corner pressure. And so like it's a lot of like intricacy in football, and like I'm at that point right now where like I'm learning like a lot more about defense than I am about offense, because I have a better understanding of our playbook than like some of our other players. Like we have like a lot of young guys coming in. Like our offensive line right now is super young, but I see like a lot of good, like I see a lot of potential in our young offensive line, which is like really like reassuring.
You guys are like Vanderbilt's a pretty run heavy team, especially coming into this next year. So I mean it's really important to have that talented youth on the offensive line.
Like I just think like, I don't know. I just see so many good things. I see great things out of Ben, Bradley Ashmore. I see great things out of everybody in that room. So I'm super
Go watch
excited.
the Ben Cox episode. It was
a little plug. Benny was on this episode too. You guys should give it a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so one thing that I was wondering from an offensive line perspective is going from Ken to Mike, because you know there was kind of a kind of flux in quarterbacks last year. Obviously, you know, Mike is a more mobile quarterback.
Yes.
And so, you know, blocking for him probably requires different things you need to think about during blocking. Is that I feel like media makes that out to be like a really big deal of like, oh, he's mobile, so you really have to keep, you know, everything clean. Is that really like a big deal?
I'll tell you, the only real difference between having different quarterbacks from an offensive line perspective is none of that that's bullshit. Like it's like you're gonna block it the same whether you got such and such, whether you got Peyton Manning or like Lamar Jackson. Like it's gonna be blocked up the same from like a protection standpoint. Like like you're gonna have different plays that cater to different quarterbacks. Like with Mike, we can run a little bit more of the read option just because he has a lot more speed than Ken. But with Ken, we can like drop back just because he has like, you know, like we can stay in the pocket a little bit better. You know, like when like Mike can like break contain pretty well and like extend plays, which like it's good on like college teams, but like both of them are super talented.
Yeah, of course.
Like I'm not
I wasn't trying to dog
no,
either.
No, like,
yeah.
I don't know. I love both of them. And so as a center, I mean, I love my quarterbacks. So, you know, but I mean, it's going to be blocked up the same. The real main difference, I was getting to this earlier, the real main difference from like an offensive line perspective is literally just the cadence. Like the rhythm of like how they like.
Is that like a big deal? Like does sometimes it like
it's
really
not
throw
like,
you off?
It's not a super big deal, but it's just something you have to be aware of.
Yeah, okay.
Because like Mike has like a bit louder of a clap than Ken, but like Ken has like, they're like different voices, different rhythms. It's like, it's all about getting into a rhythm as an offensive line. And like whenever we switch from quarterback to quarterback, it can like knock the rhythm off a little bit, but it's nothing like we're going to block everything up the same. It's literally just cadence.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably through your, up until this year. So I guess we can kind of get into the more fun stuff.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So. I think real quick, just quick summary things. Like, what would you say has been your favorite moment, or like something that'll stand out to you forever from your college career thus far?
My freshman year, definitely playing against ETSU and winning that game. It was just like I remember like all the football players, usually all of them ride mopeds, and like literally I was riding back to Commons on my moped, and I was just like fists up in the air. It's like, let's go, let's effing go, and like just being like a hype man, like because literally like my freshman year, I was kind of like a little bit like kind of, oh, like when am I gonna play kind of deal. But like I don't know, like you don't really like kind of sit back and kind of like take it a lot more seriously than you should have your freshman year. Freshman year, like everyone says, is kind of just like go have fun, go meet people.
Yeah.
Like your football time will come unless you're like one of those dudes that's like playing early. Obviously, it's different. But like if you're a dude that's not even like traveling to games or kind of just like developing, making sure like you get like get your stuff done.
Yeah.
Obviously. But like if you're not like traveling a game, that's like kind of your time to like step back from football and like go enjoy college.
Yeah.
You know, like whatever that's about. And so, but yeah, that was a little side tangent. But playing in my first game, it was like, wow. Like you kind of just like got your opportunity and like your team ended up winning. Like we scored a touchdown with Mitchell Pryor when I was in. It was awesome. Mitchell Pryor, love you, Mitch.
Shout out Mitchell Pryor.
Yeah. He's a great dude. Like super about his business. Like if there's like Mr. Fundamentals, like that's Mitchell Pryor.
Mr. Fundamental. Real student of the game.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my freshman year. My sophomore year, I don't really know. COVID was pretty tough on everybody. And like obviously like we were 0-10. So I mean it was pretty it's pretty tough to like find a good memory from 2020.
It was a growth year.
And then favorite memory from 2021, I guess, sort of just like, I don't know, there are a lot of them. I mean, playing in 10 games is awesome. Like, my body was banged up at the end of it, but like how like I just enjoyed the time, like my experience playing in those 10 games. So like, I guess just starting my first game and kind of just like going out there and like having a kick-ass first game, and I was like, oh yeah, like I'm the dude. Like I was on cloud 9 after that Stanford game. Like I know we didn't win, but like I had just like
it was a close
no,
game.
it was a great game.
And Stanford
like,
ended up being a really like a pretty solid
they
team.
beat Oregon.
Yeah, like they were like a top 25 team at the end of the year.
And so like I don't know, it was just like I was just walking around like I was the dude. Like I was on cloud 9.
Yeah. What was your least favorite stadium you've ever played in? Whether that's because of the fans or because of the facilities, but like.
Least favorite?
Yeah, least.
I mean, I don't really like Tennessee that much. Their stadium's nice, but like obviously can't really.
I get
like
it,
Tennessee, but.
That's fair. Tennessee fans can be pretty terrible.
Yeah, they're awful. Fucking hate that orange, dude. I don't like
The
it.
orange, the orange is a great color.
No, it's not.
Okay. Which is better, Texas orange or Tennessee orange?
Texas.
No,
Easy. It's not even close.
It's like Texas is like more of like a yellowish
burnt.
orange.
It's burnt orange.
It's not as hard on your eyes.
Exactly, dude. It's like I feel like I'm looking at a highlighter when I look at Tennessee.
But it's like
it's hurting.
Have you seen
It's
the
like
UT black
glare.
jerseys?
Yeah, those are good.
Those are
Dude.
so sweet.
They look like Reese's like.
I don't care. They're
Cups.
cold. Are you kidding
Dude,
me?
no.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sorry. There's one thing I'll stick hard on. Like no.
I was at Neyland when I was 3 years old. So
Good
I
grief.
have a
You have a
connection.
history. I can respect the history. And you were born in Knoxville. I respect it, but like respectfully, I don't like them.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Least favorite stadium and least favorite fans. Tennessee fans are pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie. I probably hate playing in Mississippi State the most. Their stadium is awesome. Like their facilities are super nice. Like their away locker room is like fantastic, beautiful facilities. But I fucking hate those little cowbells they got in the stadium.
Oh my god.
The cowbells
Like,
in Mississippi State.
they had
are terrible.
25% capacity during the COVID season when we played them at their stadium, and like you could literally still like it was still loud as
They
hell.
didn't have to pipe in crowd noise or
25%
anything.
of those people, like 25% fans, all of them had cowbells.
Good grief.
That's rough.
Like I just don't like that. I mean,
Yeah.
but like my favorite stadium,
Yeah.
That's
Where's the
rough.
better one? Other than
I
Vandy's,
like-
of course.
honestly, South Carolina Stadium.
Oh, South Carolina Stadium is
I
beautiful.
did not realize, like, I didn't do like my proper research when I was looking at their stadium, but like their stadium is super.
Have you been to
nice.
Georgia?
No.
Georgia Stadium is also really nice.
Well,
if
I
you
bet
guys
they
go.
are. They're the national
They're-
champs.
You guys go to them this
We go
next
to-
year.
yeah.
Yeah. So maybe
We do a little bus ride down there. It's kind of, but we fly back, so it's not too bad.
There you go.
They have like the hedges on the end zones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
like
South
that view.
Carolina, right?
No, that's
South
in
Carolina
Georgia.
has them, too.
They do have them too. I've heard Columbia's a really nice place to play.
No, like the weather was super nice. It was like, it was warm, but it wasn't too hot. It was just like beautiful.
was a nice night for
It
football.
was like 76 degrees, and then when the sun went down, it got to like
you guys-
68.
I was so mad how there was a couple calls in that South Carolina game that I was so angry about.
Oh, it was pretty tough.
Yeah, because I felt like you guys should have won that game.
No, I wholeheartedly believe that we won that game. I mean, at the end of the day, like, not that like I personally take responsibility, but like we had a 4-minute like period, and like if like all we had to do was just keep the ball away from them. Like everyone could say about like, oh, like the 2-minute defense like wasn't it, but like at the end of the day, like they shouldn't have gotten in that situation. In the first place.
There was from what I remember, there were some questionable.
There's
some questionable calls.
But like, you know,
I mean, you have to live with that.
Yeah.
That's
anyway.
part.
It's gonna happen anywhere you go. I mean, I feel like it happens a little bit more to us, honestly, but that's a bit of a different story.
That's that Vandy bias.
Yeah, honestly.
We're allowed to say that because we're media members.
I've seen some stuff fly that like I would never have seen like.
Can you imagine having like Alabama? Oh my god.
Dude, if we had like, oh my god, I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's a whole nother episode.
That's when I'm done with college football. I can talk about that.
Yeah. Come back on the pod.
At least like per NCAA, I can talk about whatever I want when I'm done with college football.
The new exclusive interview where he disses everything.
Yeah,
after we graduate.
You guys just hit me up in 3 years. I'll give you all the full scoop
for sure.
of everything.
Definitely.
Looking forward, I guess. What are you most excited for next year? I know Ben said y'all are going to Hawaii, and he's excited about that.
I forgot about that, but that sounds hype.
Dude, I don't know. I'm very excited about a lot of things. We also get to play at Bryant-Denny, which is really cool. And I'm, like, looking forward to that. Everyone can say, like, oh, my God, like, Bama, but, like, dude, I'm just looking for the experience, man.
Yeah.
Like, competition's going to be high. It's, like, it's your time to kind of just put what you got on tape against, like, some of the best recruits in the country.
Right.
Like,
that will help. You know, I assume optimally you'd like to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
And so, like, that would be good. Like, you know, in terms of NFL scouts will probably be there. You get that exposure. You know? That's probably a perk of playing.
I got teammates from my high school football team on Bama too, so I get to see them. Like Jordan Battle, probably.
Ooh, Jordan!
He's like,
he went to
St. Thomas. Yeah, he's like the highest graded safety in
Jordan Battle's good. Yeah.
And then my buddy, he was like SEC first, like freshman, like first team freshman All American. He was
What's his name?
Oh, I forget his name. What's his name? Number 15 for. I got a bunch of teammates in the SEC. It's honestly kind of crazy how like much of a powerhouse St. Thomas is.
It's a feeder school.
Yeah, like Derek Wingo at UF. Shout out Derek Wingo. Jordan Battle. He's kind of like a linebacker DN mix. You know, like how like they have those hybrids now.
Star position.
Yeah. Marlon Martinez, Marcus Dumerville, both are O-linemen at LSU. I can't really think too hard now. I was only at St. Thomas for like a year, so I only know of the dudes that like I played with.
But like that, I mean, it's impressive.
Just the South Florida area in general is just so high and like
it's crazy.
Like you could say like Florida, but like it's primarily South Florida that like gets all those dudes. Like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, south of Orlando, like anywhere there is crazy.
Yeah. So a popular question that started with Cam is, so he talked about how for home games, the food before home games, he was a big fan of the ice cream bar.
Oh yeah.
When we asked Ben about it, he was like, "I'm not really an ice cream guy. I don't get sweets before the game." Are you an ice cream guy? Do you get sweets?
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
I mean,
Cam was passionate.
I'm an O-lineman, so I'm big on like food in general.
Yeah.
I mean, Benny's funny. Like I actually met Ben's parents one day, and like they were telling me how in high school they had to cook him 4 pounds of chicken every night.
That's so much chicken.
I don't really know how like that looked on like a weekly basis and like how much that costs. Like,
budgeting
a lot.
Like shoot, I think like a pack of 4 pounds of chicken is like $13-15 maybe.
It's expensive, especially now with like COVID.
Well, I mean everything now it could be like $20, but
they'd have to go wholesaling.
The ice cream bar.
Back to the
yeah. So it's an ice cream bar, but they got like cookies next to it. Like there's like a selection assortment of cookies.
It's like a whole dessert bar.
Yeah, it's like a whole dessert bar.
This is new information.
Yeah,
we're evolving on the ice cream bar conversation
for sure.
And so I get either all chocolate, all vanilla, like two to three scoops, or I'll get like. If I were to get like say I had a lot to eat and I wasn't really like super hungry for ice cream, I get like 2 scoops, like 1 chocolate, 1 vanilla or something, just kind of like mix it up.
Yeah.
I get Huge sprinkles guy. I love sprinkles.
Really?
I know they're nothing but sugar, but like I just like sprinkles.
Yeah.
Have you ever had warm sprinkles? Like sprinkles that have been warmed? I think they're so much better. It
Really?
melts into the ice cream. Something
So it's just
something
like
to think
it's just
about.
like melted sugar on your ice cream.
Yeah.
Pretty much, probably.
It's just something to think about real quick.
That is rather
But
revolutionary.
yeah, I had it one time in Charleston.
Okay.
It was good. But anyway, sorry. Keep
No,
going.
it's all
Taking down the
good.
ice cream.
Yeah, so I get sprinkles. I do caramel, hot fudge. They got like Oreo bits. I get a little bit. I'm a very big I like toppings on ice cream. So,
Toppings on ice cream
It's-
and stuff.
and then I'll put they got I think it's Cool Whip in a big metal bowl that they have little
Yeah.
what's it called?
Saran wrap?
Yeah, saran wrap on it.
Yeah.
And so I'll get 2 scoops of the Cool Whip. I'll put a little cherry on top of it. I put the
You
caramel
have a
and the
whole
hot fudge
sundae.
on the ice cream. I don't put it on the hot
Oh,
fudge.
I think that's probably a smarter idea.
Yeah,
But,
it's just easier to make. But yeah, that's my ice cream bar go-to. And then
it-
I put a little cookie in there because from the cookie
Yeah,
bar,
of course.
I
There you
put
go.
1 cookie in there.
For the aesthetic.
Yeah, I remember when we talked to Cam about it. He was like, "It's a competition with the wide receivers of who has the nicest ice cream." Is that do you guys? Or is it just more like, "Oh, thank God, there's some ice cream," or is it pride in who has
No,
the
I
best
mean
ice cream?
that's the wide receivers. They're the fly boys. They can do whatever they want. But O-line, I mean, honestly, I'll tell you, it's more of a competition of who can get their food first. Because
Yeah.
if you're not one of the first to get your food, it takes forever to get your food. Because we have 2 buffet lines in the place where we eat, but then outside they have a pasta station where you can kind of
Yep.
cook
I've
your
heard
own pasta.
heard the good things
You
about the
cook your
pasta
own
station.
pasta?
No, they make it for you,
Okay.
but
It's
like a
you pick
pasta
what you
fix.
want, and it's like a pasta. It's like the
Makes
ice cream
sense.
bar, but
Yeah.
the pasta bar.
Pasta bar.
So I get
pasta bar.
if you're not first out there because the pasta bar is very popular.
I've heard that
Yeah.
it's a
I get
attraction.
I get noodles, I get shrimp, chicken, mushrooms, pesto, parmesan. I get a little bit of Alfredo and a little bit of marinara. Not too much
Ooh.
sauce though, because I like the sauce to be a little bit thicker, not runny.
Yeah. Running
It's
sauce
super
on
good.
It.
You got onion, garlic in there. It's so good.
I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten today.
Yeah, I gotta
Good
eat
grief.
after this. Will be
Yeah,
dinner.
that we're
But yeah, and so literally, if you're not one of the first people to get called up to go eat, it'll probably take you a smooth 30, 40 minutes to get your food. At least at the pasta stations, everyone
Yeah.
goes there.
Is it by seniority, or is there a position group that gets to go
They'll,
some weeks?
they'll mix it up. They'll do because they'll mix it up. It'll either be seniors first, junior, sophomores, and then they'll go sophomore, senior, junior, freshman. They'll just mix it up a bit.
Okay, I didn't know if it was a seniority based.
That's funny because anytime there's a birthday, the birthday boy or
He gets
girl
to go
goes first to
Yeah.
get food, and everyone will sit there and they'll go to the buffet line and just look at the food, and then they'll pick it up and we'll murmur and pretend we're judging they'll put some in their plate and hey,
That's very
kind of
funny.
just a live little commentary on
Of course, yeah.
the birthday person getting their food.
Oh, they get to go by themselves.
They get the food, yeah. They'll
It's-
stand up in front of everybody.
Nah, they're not
and
just
get their
first
plate.
in line.
They're
They're the show.
they're the only
they're
one
literally
in line.
the eye of the room at that time.
That's so funny.
And literally, we'll just commentate and pretend we're there. Anytime they would put a piece of food on their plate, it was
Like,
a,
oh, he's
it
going
was
for the
a,
chicken. Oh, okay.
It was a golf clap or
Yeah.
a cheer. It was awesome. It was funny.
That's funny.
Have you ever been the birthday boy, or is your birthday not in
It's so my birthday always lies around Tennessee week because I'm a late November baby.
Yeah, because Tennessee's always the last game.
Because we're always Tennessee's always our Thanksgiving week game, and so my birthday will either be the day after the game. I don't think I've ever had my birthday on the day of the game or any time where I could have
Claimed.
pregame meal or
Yeah.
I've never had that luxury before.
Is that
This past year it was I think it was literally the Sunday after Tennessee game, or no, it was the Monday after Tennessee game. I remember because I went downtown after not after the game, but on Sunday night when
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have, but we didn't have anything.
Where'd y'all go?
Oh, I just went to Luke's or something.
Okay.
Midnight, just flashed my ID. Oh, happy birthday! Come on in.
That's sick.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Ice cream. That's the big question.
Yeah,
We got
that's
the big one.
Shoot, superlatives. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, superlatives.
You'll handle
Oh
it.
yeah. We've got the O line. They're a tight group. So how we're gonna do it is we're gonna do amongst the O line and then the whole football team. So
Yeah.
we got 2 answers, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Who's the best dancer?
Best dancer on the offensive line is probably me. I'm not gonna
That's
lie.
what I'm talking about.
I love to dance. And then on the team, I mean, now we got a bunch of dancers. I'm not gonna lie. I'd say probably Quincy Skinner is one of them. Taco Wright is one of them. Or I guess his name's Alan Wright, but his nickname's Taco.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. Who else is a good dancer? Maxwell Worship's a really good dancer.
We've heard that before.
Yeah.
We've heard Max Worship on that.
I think that was one of our guesses. We guessed.
Yeah. No, he's a great dancer. Mike Wright's a good dancer.
I'd expect Mike Wright to be a good dancer.
He's like kind of like the little like in South Florida we call it sticking. He's kind of like the little like bob and weaving kind of like like he's a good dancer.
That seems about right.
Who else? Oh geez.
I think my guess was Anthony Orgy. I feel like he would have been a good dancer.
I think he's all. I mean, I've never like seen him like flat out like dance in front of a crowd of people. Like you know what he has done in front of a crowd of people? Kind of funny. Like he has this little thing where like he pretends like he's gonna do a front flip, but he just lands like straight on his ass. Like he does like
intentionally.
Yes. No, he does it intentionally. Like he's done it in places like before where it's just like fantastic. Like it's like literally like we'll all get in a circle, we'll all pull out our phones and like record him, and he'll like do this thing where he like dusts his shoes off, goes in for a front flip, just straight like just like lands on the floor. Like he does it every time. Where like any time the football team is at a function or anywhere, like he will just do it randomly.
But can he actually land a front flip though?
I think he probably could.
Like, you haven't seen it though.
He's like probably the most like.
We gotta get Fernie.
Not the most like. I mean, he's athletic. Like he's like ripped.
Yeah.
Like he's like.
He's a big guy.
Anthony is huge.
He's a big guy.
Yeah.
Like he's probably the like most genetically gifted like athlete I've ever seen in my life. Like he's not like the tallest dude, but he's definitely like the biggest.
It's like imagine DK Metcalf scaled down a little bit.
Literally.
Good grief.
Like, I think Anthony's like 6 foot maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know exactly how tall he is.
Yeah, they're all taller than me.
Yeah, bigger than me. Doesn't matter.
But no, I mean, yeah, he'll just randomly do that, and it's like the funniest shit ever. I swear to God.
That's the question of the day. Can he actually do a backflip?
I think that's what we gotta DM him.
No, he literally just tries the front flip, but like I don't think he does it like he does it on purpose, but I think he could if he like realistically tried to do one.
Fair enough.
What if one day he just busted out instead of like falling, he just actually landed it and he just walked off?
I think it would be like the biggest like one of
letdown?
It was like the biggest anime twist of
Oh,
like,
yeah,
all time.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
one of those, I swear.
Yeah.
Everyone would just be shocked.
The music stops.
And then we'll just clap or like cheer him on like anyway.
That's funny.
I think he could. I'm not sure. But like I'm pretty sure he can.
What if like the first time he did it, he unintentionally fell, and then he was like, "Yeah, that's just my bit," and like that's just what he does from now on.
I mean, he could have very well been. I'm not sure. But
I think
like,
we gotta get him on the podcast.
I think there was
pod.
during our like you know how you do like freshman seminars and stuff like that. Like I think he literally did it at one of our freshman seminars.
Oh jeez.
I think they like do that play or whatever of like. I don't even know. I think they were just like reenacting like certain events that would like go on in like a college campus, and like everyone was at like a party and they were like all dancing. And I'm pretty sure like he kind of got on stage somehow and just did it. Like I'm not even sure like how like he even got up there.
He was just there.
Yeah,
He just did it.
Anthony's everywhere, but I love that about him. He's a funny guy.
Additions to the Fernie lore.
Yeah, literally. The lore.
The lore.
No way.
He's a mythical figure.
Yeah.
Good grief.
He has the powers of like teleportation.
Yeah. He hears us talking about him. He just shows up on the pod.
He's like
does a front flip right in
Yeah,
front
he
of
just
us.
does it. Right.
Oh jeez, I can't think of the second question, Chris.
Best dressed.
That was
Anthony.
it. There you go.
He's the best dressed.
Anthony, Justin Harris. Those are my two picks for like best dressed.
Who was it that was the camera band? They're like,
Cam said
I
Chris
ran into
Pierce.
him this morning and he's just wearing like
Chris
a Gucci
Pierce.
suit
Chris Pierce
for no
is
reason.
He's very well dressed too. If I'm looking at like dudes on the team currently, because Chris Pierce is just graduated.
Yeah,
and,
graduated.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to their pro day, but I had class, so like
That's a
yeah.
Chris Pierce is going to be good. I think that he is an undervalued
He's
wide receiver.
he's a very big body for like
He's a possession wide receiver.
He's like 240.
He's huge.
Like, I'm surprised that like he can move the way he does.
Do you know what his 40 time is? I feel like he's faster than what you would expect him to be.
Yeah,
guy like
no
that.
doubt.
Yeah.
Like, he made so many plays for us last year. Like, it was actually crazy.
He was the most, like, I don't want to say the most reliable because, like, I'm not trying to diss other wide receivers,
I
but
mean,
man was just like he caught everything.
He made plays.
No, like he made
plays,
tremendous
man.
plays, and like
Yeah.
there's just like sometimes just like you ever see that meme where like Patrick Mahomes like
Yeah, he just like, all right, he's down there
Tyreek
somewhere.
Hill's
Yeah,
down there somewhere. Like
And
I think
down there somewhere.
I think you could say that for like a lot of our dudes. Like Will Shepard's really talented.
Yeah, he caught that Hail Mary in the Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was
I think-
that? Was that a fun moment for you?
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, I
like,
bet.
oh Lyman, we don't really like we run. Don't get me wrong. Like we do conditioning as like just like everybody else, but like. Shoot, I wouldn't even think about conditioning. I ran like 60 yards down the field
Yeah.
just to like go
I remember
celebrate.
Willem and I were actually at the game in Knoxville.
Yeah.
And
No, you were at the game in Knoxville.
Oh
I
yeah, you
was
were at
watching
the other one. My bad. You were at the Ole Miss Tennessee game. Another point. When Mike Wright threw that ball, I'm telling you, it was the most horizontal Hail Mary I've ever seen in my whole life.
What do you mean?
Like
no
when you
arc?
see Hail Marys, you
Oh,
see like
it was like
a huge
it was
arch
like a
pass.
bullet.
It was a bullet pass 60 yards. And I'm telling you,
crazy.
I was like, he threw it and I was looking at the Jumbotron because I was on the opposite end zone.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way that makes it to the end zone. Like immediately when he threw it. And then I'm like, that's still going.
Yeah.
And then I think Will Shepard caught it, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my whole life."
Nah, Mike's a pretty skinny dude, but he's got an arm on him.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Man, I was like, I'm telling you, it had no arc at all. It was a full-on bullet pass, 60
That's
yards to the
crazy.
end zone. It was.
Good
So
I didn't
funny.
even think about that.
That
But
was one heck of a play.
yeah, best dressed definitely on the team right now. Anthony Orgy and Justin Harris. Those are my two top picks for like best dressed. Oh, from an O-line too. Should I forgot to answer it? Bradley Ashmore's probably the best dressed in the O-line.
Okay.
Or Charlie Clark, who's like he's like a walk-on, but I love Charlie. He's the best. He's a big like kind of put your nose on the grindstone kind
Yeah,
of guy, too.
yeah.
Like he doesn't really. He's kind of getting comfortable with us, so he's like talking to us more. But like when he first got here, he was kind of just like a quiet dude. But Chuck's developed. We call him Chuck. He's
Okay.
developed a bit of a personality on him that we all love him. So
That's sick.
That's a good one. Who's the biggest personality on the team? Like they're just always doing something, always saying something. You know they're going to be doing something at all times.
probably Mike.
Yeah.
Mike Wright.
Okay.
I think he's like a. My mom loves Mike. She calls him like the ray of sunshine. She's always like such a sweet boy, like always talking to people, like always engaged. Like I don't know. I think Mike Wright is definitely one of those dudes that's kind of like a big personality.
Yeah.
Who else is a big personality? Max Worship's kind of like, once you get to know him, he's a big personality. He's kind of like a more reserved dude, though. Like, if you don't really know him too well, like, he's still going to give you respect, but, like, he's kind of like, you got to get to know him more to, like, kind of get that personality out of him.
Oh, definitely.
Like, definitely with his, like, in the locker room, he's a funny personality in there. Anthony Orgy's a big personality. Like, again, kind of like once you get to know him.
Yeah.
Who else? I'm trying to think. I don't know. I guess you could like plead a case with like a lot of people that like once you get to know them, they're a big personality.
Yeah.
It's just like people that are like kind of breaking the scope of like, yeah, like I'm an athlete or like I'm a football player, but like I'm also a person. You
Yeah,
know, like,
no, definitely.
kind of just like being approachable or like approaching other people. Like I feel like nowadays, I mean, especially with like social media, like people can seem like they have a huge personality like on social media, but like it's once you get to like see them in person, they're kind of just like
Yeah,
like in the corner, I
feel
guess.
like that's another point of like why we do this pod.
Yeah.
Is because like a lot of people view, especially like college and professional athletes, like commodities, especially with how like sports betting has become just increasingly popular.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like, you know, humanizing athletes is probably an important thing that we need to
Yeah,
reconsider
I mean, like
doing.
with the whole like mental health awareness thing too. Like I've seen so many people on Twitter like kind of bash like LeBron and Serena. And
Yeah.
not Serena, like Simone Biles
Yeah,
for like what
yeah.
she did in the
For-
Olympics. Like
I mean, you're
like
an
you're
athlete.
a
a
top
person.
athlete. Like I think Simone Biles, like even if she couldn't do that specific flip that like she was having trouble, like she's still gonna beat everybody without a doubt. Like they've made
Most
rules to
dominant
like
athlete in any sport ever.
yeah, like they've made rules to like limit what she can do. Because she can do things that like other athletes are physically
Simply
incapable of
can't.
doing.
Nobody.
So like for her to step down, it's like she has to be going through some tremendous things because like
Right.
I'm sure like she could have done something else that like even other people still couldn't have done and still
Yeah.
won. So I mean, again, like I don't know. I mean, people are just like, some people are just ruthless. I mean, there was definitely a time and a place where like athletes were kind of just looked at like these like hard dudes, like grimy, just like broken finger, just like, oh, like I don't care, like I'm still gonna go out there. Like there's definitely times where like, I mean, especially as an offensive lineman, like
You play
a
through
broken
some
finger
injury,
is
yeah.
like kind of
You're not catching the ball.
child,
Yeah.
like so. I mean, but like I'm talking more like big picture, like mental issues. I feel like people have kind of just become like desensitized and just think that like just because you're an athlete, like it means like you're already this like huge, you're already on this high pedestal of like perfection. That like once you've reached the max, like once you reach like the NFL, NBA, MLB, it's like you can't mess up or you can't like be a human.
Yeah, you can't be a person at that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like people are gonna make mistakes. People are gonna like be people. Like I'm sure there was like a time in y'all's life where like you were kind of just like, what am I doing? Or like, what now?
Yeah,
You
we're
know,
not even,
like-
we're not on a national stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like I literally like Ole Miss game. Like for me, like
Oh, that Ole Miss game also pissed me off. That's a different point.
I was not in the right mental state that Ole Miss game. Like I don't know what had like went wrong, but like
It's lame.
I was just like I wasn't in it, and like my rhythm was off. Like I think I personally, as a center, had a couple offsides penalties, which like I'm supposed to know like
Yeah.
when to snap the ball. Like that's like my job.
That's
That's literally like
That's rule one.
I only got one job, and that was it for me. And like that happened, and I was just like what's wrong with me? Like what? Like
Yeah.
And so like I got pulled that game, but like it was kind of just like a step back, just like
yeah.
and like assess yourself,
Yeah, take a minute.
make sure you're good,
I
because
think I
like
remember that actually.
yeah, like
I
literally
watched
like
that whole game.
you can literally see like a picture like of me like jogging in the tunnel at halftime of that game, and like my face was pale, like I was like a ghost, like I was like so embarrassed and like so like, oh my god, like I'm just like the worst right now, like I don't know what's going on. And so like it's just like you kind of just got to like take a priority of like sometimes like you don't even like I didn't even know what was going on that game. And so like if that can happen to like a dude like me, like not saying that like I'm better or like I'm a big person, like just like it can happen to anybody.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
That was kind of like my big moment of like, okay, like this is definitely like a huge mental game too. Like it's not just like physical. Like yeah, you need to be like in physical shape to be able to compete, but like you got to be as mentally sharp as you are physically competent to like play.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I think that's a good quote.
yeah,
As mentally sharp as you are physically competent to play. That's gonna be
Damn.
that's gonna be the leadership
That's it.
quote of
shoot,
on Tuesday.
you know, just a little
Yeah, you know, dropping
education for
quotables.
y'all.
Yeah.
You know, dropping some wisdom here.
I don't know if we have many more questions, I don't think. But I think what we do want you to do is we want you to sign the Show 'em the Door jersey.
Oh yeah.
Do y'all have like a? Is it like something with the
Yeah,
back too?
there's
Like,
every guest that's come on minus Cam because Willem forgot the jersey has
Yeah,
signed the
that's fine.
back. So that's all of Spencer Jones and Ben Cox.
nice.
So
Chris's girlfriend, but that's besides the
that
point.
she came on an episode and I said you had to sign it.
That's fine. Let's see here.
Yeah,
My signature's honestly not the best, but we're gonna make it work.
it's okay.
I've never
You gotta
had, like-
practice, right?
Yeah, exactly. Let me see.
This will be also in the
What
thumbnail.
kind
We're
of
gonna
what kind of
clickbait it.
what
We're
kind
gonna be
of
like,
give does it? Okay, it has a little bit of.
Willem, we're gonna clickbait it. Do you like? Okay, that's gonna be a stupid thumbnail.
I love it. A gift to it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yours is a lot more like legible though, because everybody, I don't think they put enough pressure on the pen, and so like Spence's is.
And some of these like aren't big enough. Like that's a good size.
Yeah, that's what we're
Spencer's
looking
is
for.
small.
Spencer's
Yeah.
I feel like we like in the future should be like
Yeah,
yeah,
good.
get
I'll
it that
put a
size.
little.
Yeah, well,
Put Ernie on the bottom. That's what everyone calls me on the football team. Well, at least the coaches and some of the players call me Ernie.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Is there a reason for that?
So my name is Julian Hernandez, and like one of our senior
Here's
tackle.
one.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, I'm a fool.
No, it's not. Trust me, there's a little bit more to it. And so, one of our senior offensive tackles when I first got here, Devin Cochran. I don't. You guys probably might not know who he is.
I don't.
And he transferred to Georgia Tech like about a year after I was here. I love the guy. Like he's probably going to go to the league. Like he had a great pro day, and I think he's going to get drafted pretty like well. And so, he out of nowhere was just like, "What up, Jay Ernie?" Like, like Julian Hernandez, like
Just
Jay
happens.
Ernie.
Jay Hernie.
Like he was just looking for a nickname for me, and so he started calling me Jay Ernie, and that kind of was just like
Just got shortened to Ernie.
what the O line started just calling me like at like my freshman year. They're like Jay Ernie because my offensive line coach, Coach Norcross, like I don't know. He wasn't like my favorite guy. I mean, I think he was kind of just like an ass, but I feel like he knows that. Like I don't think like
That was his like coaching strategy.
yeah, it was his coaching style. And, like
That's the
I love him as a person, but like I did not like him as a coach. So I mean, he's not even. I don't even think he's coaching anymore. I think he went to
Rest in peace.
Where did he go? He went to UNLV for a year. And
Oh,
then,
wow.
Oh, no wonder.
And then he.
I'm just playing.
That's where
Curry's gonna die.
So it's like the Jets of NCAA.
I don't even know like where he's at now, honestly. But he was calling me like Levon for some reason. I don't know why he started calling me. He started calling me Levon out of nowhere.
It's really weird.
And like literally Levon, like Lavon, out of nowhere. Like I'm telling you, he's like, Levon, what's going on in this play? And I was just like,
Is that
I was
me?
sitting there. He's like, Levon, and I was like, who the fuck? Like, who's he talking to? And he was like, oh shit, Julian. And I was like, my name's not fucking Levon.
Yeah.
Like, who are you talking to? And so he was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna start calling you that now. And so I was like, oh, like shit.
You're like, God.
I mean,
There it goes.
I didn't really care, but so the seniors, they just started calling me Jay Ernie, and that kind of stuck because I'm the last in my recruiting class right now in the offensive line room because like we had two other dudes, but like one of them was playing defense now, and the other dude kind of medically retired. So I'm still there, but we had dudes on the team who were with me my freshman year that remember them calling me Jay Ernie. So that's kind of stuck, but they kind of ditched the J and just started calling me Ernie. And that's how you spell it, Hernie. My coach, he always, like, if he posts on Twitter, like, you say something about me, he spells it Earnie, like Earn
Like
E.
Ernie.
Yeah, but no, it has the H for Hernandez.
Yeah, but, like, it's like the
So-
H is silent, just like it is in Spanish.
Yeah,
Okay, for
exactly.
sure.
So that's how I kind of, I think
So
he might-
message to the world, that's how it's spelled.
it has an H in front of it.
Get it right, y'all.
It's Hernie, J Ernie.
We'll have that. We'll have that in
for
the
short.
title.
Yeah, that's what it
With
is.
Julian Hernandez
Get it
in
right.
parentheses Ernie.
Yeah.
That's where we're gonna take you out of context and be like, Julian Hernandez demands that you spell it right. That's where we like trash you.
You can call me. I tell all my professors, you can call me whatever you want. Like, oh my Julian, you can call me whatever you want.
Yeah.
So
Well,
One last thing before we go, because I just remembered this.
yeah,
Ben brought something good up. We're talking about the helmet, and we're like, this is kind of heavy. It hurts my neck. Do you do any neck exercises? And he's like, let me tell you, floor neck.
Floor
he
neck.
didn't describe it at all. He's like, I'm not going to say anything about it. Just ask the next people you have. Floor neck?
yeah. What is
Floor-
that? What is
so
that?
pretty much like you lay on your back. Our strength coach, like one of our assistant strength coaches, Coach Belrose, he's world renowned. He'll be like, pop down, feet east, floor, neck, and everyone just goes crazy in the weight room. I have no idea why we've like developed like a loving and like a hype around floor neck. Like
What is it?
we'll literally lay down on our backs with our feet facing east because military commander,
Sure.
like sort of
Yeah.
like army stuff, whatever. I'm not saying we're the army, but like we kind of just like we'll sometimes do things.
You're
like
wearing the
that.
salute to service shirt. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, love my
anyway.
vets. A huge fan.
we support vets at Show 'em the Door.
Exactly. And we'll literally just like we'll go to certain like neck exercises. So we'll be laying down on our back. We'll be like ready, set, and then we'll like pick our heads up. And so he'll be like chin to chest, and it looks like we're like nodding our head yes, and then it'll go for like 30, 45 seconds straight of just like nodding your head, and like you can be like, oh my god, like
That's a lot.
really? Like no, it's actually kind of
Yeah,
tiring.
I bet it would be.
Yeah.
And so it'd be like chin to chest, go, and like you're shaking your head yes. Shaking my head no, and so you have your head stagnant and you're kind of just like turning like rotational work.
Yeah.
And then ear to shoulder, and so your head's still like in the same, like your head never touches the ground during this entire process.
Oh, so yeah, that's
Yeah, that gets tough on you.
Like it just like
That's a real exercise for
Yeah.
your neck.
well, the thing is, like, once you're done, like, you're fine within, like, 30 seconds. Like, it's kind of just, like, a little bit of a burner for your neck. And, like, I don't know. I mean, I still get sore no matter what. Like, offensive line, like, we're always, like,
you
hitting.
guys get beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, first couple of days of spring ball, like, my neck is just stiff as a
like,
board.
Yo,
It's just like, oh, just like, damn.
You wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, Nicole.
It's literally.
I gotta go back.
It's literally just like my biggest pet peeve is just my neck being super sore.
Oh, God.
I could deal with anything being sore on my body except for my neck, because like your neck is like everything. You
Yeah.
can't look.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can't.
You're in class just mad. You're just like,
Yeah.
oh, God.
You like
I mean,
flashback. Floor neck. Oh.
No, I mean floor neck. I love it. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah. Ben was making it seem like floor neck was not a very enjoyed.
No, everyone
just left it at that.
loves.
He didn't say a
Everyone
thing.
loves.
I got
floor neck.
the vibe that it was not an enjoyable thing, but I'm glad that it is.
Yeah, everyone loves floor neck.
Oh, that's the biggest, best takeaway from this.
Yeah.
Floor neck.
Do your floor neck. Like
Dude,
eat your vegetables
everybody-
and go to school.
if
Do your
you're-
floor neck.
If you're watching right now, lay on the ground and do some floor neck.
Feet
Your
exercise.
feet gotta face east.
Yeah,
Yeah.
feet east, get a compass or something.
Use your phone. You
Yeah.
have a compass on there.
Go to school. Eat
Yeah.
your vegetables. Drink a gallon of water a day. Do floor neck. And you'll
That's
find
all
success.
it
Four
takes.
keys to success. This is gonna end up on like a business Instagram page. Julian Hernandez's 4 keys to success.
Literally.
Oh gosh.
Oh, fifth key. Be a good person.
That's true.
Be a good man or woman or whatever you identify
good
as.
individual.
Be a good
We're inclusive
person.
here on Show 'em the Door as well.
Yes. Very inclusive.
And that's the takeaway.
yeah.
I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah,
now.
it's been a long
One heck
episode,
of
but
an
it's
interview.
been fun.
Hey, I'm telling you, I can make a conversation last forever if I wanted to. I'm here for as much as y'all need.
Yeah, but I think we're done. This has been fun. We've enjoyed having you on.
It's been good. We really appreciate
It's
you.
been a pleasure, and I really appreciate y'all reaching out.
Yeah, it was weird. We'll tell the story about how I reached out just real quick.
We're in
Because-
class together.
Yeah, so Willem has actually gotten every other person on
I
the phone.
produce.
Yeah, I
produce.
just do the editing.
Yep.
Willem gets the people on, and so I was like, Julian and I have a leadership class together, and I was wearing my Show 'em the Door sweatshirt, and we gotta make more merch.
We do gotta make more merch.
If we ever make merch, we'll send out free merch to our guests on the pod.
Oh, yeah. That'd be awesome.
But so we had a TA in, and he was like, "Oh, what's that?" And I was like, giving him the Show 'em the Door description. And then I was like, "We get athletes on." I just looked at Julian. I was like, "You ever want to get on the pod?"
I was like, yeah, sure.
I was like, "What are you doing Thursdays?" And it was last Thursday, and he was like, "Are you asking me if I'm free today?" And I'm like,
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing Thursday? I'm like, today? Like, I can go today if you need me.
and I was like, I mean, not specifically, just in general.
Yeah.
But it was funny. But
No, I had a great time. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
it's a lot
Great
of fun.
conversation.
and so we'll have more people on. I think we're planning on. I think we can reveal who we're
The
trying
big
to
reveal. Now's the time.
Yeah.
Our next big
Oh,
guest.
I wasn't the big reveal.
You were the big reveal
You were
last
the big
week.
reveal
Yeah.
last time.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
you
joking.
had a big reveal last week.
It's big reveal on big reveal. It's what we do here.
That's what we're attempting anyway. But I believe in the next coming weeks we plan to have the one, the only, the Jordan Wright on the podcast. So that will be
nice. I
that'll
love
be-
Jordan.
Yeah, do you know Jordan?
I have class with him. He's in my.
You should say good things. Get him on.
Yeah,
'Cause
I'll give him a good word.
all right, he said that he would, but we haven't solidified a time with him. I don't believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna
Yeah.
once we put this out, be like, hey.
yeah, because we want to give him some time after what
I
happened
love
at NIT
Jordan.
and stuff.
He's in my additional organizational theory class.
Is that an HOD class?
Yeah,
Is he an
HOD
HOD major?
I think so.
Maybe we'll have a class with Jordan right next
Getting that
semester.
degree, baby.
But so with that being said, this has been Show 'em the Door, and we'll see y'all next week.
Anchor down.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.